The following movie is rated R.
Welcome back to the R-rated podcast. Today's guest is Emma Hoytes. I was like trying to get that right.
You got it.
Today we're going to talk about working internationally, and we'll see where the conversation goes from there. But I'm super excited because Emma's from Denmark.
Yay!
It's quite a flight away. How many hours is it? Like 12 hours? 10 hours?
Yeah, I think it's like 10 or 11.
Just from far away. So what brought you to LA, or what sparked the initial interest in the film industry?
Well, I started as a model when I was 13.
Okay. Makes sense. You call it. I literally was like, "Hi," and you walked in.
So yeah, when I was 13, I was a model until I was 16. But that was how I kind of got into the industry.
Okay.
And
so you modeled over there in Denmark.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then I was in commercials and just, doing my thing.
Yeah.
And
what was your first Danish commercial? I feel like that's really interesting.
Oh, Danish commercials. It was kind of like the Danish Sephora.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm literally sitting, curling my hair, blowing bubbles.
It
was so bad.
I could just imagine myself curling hair and blowing bubbles. I'm like, I don't think I would do that, but that's pretty funny.
Yeah, just sitting there
They're act natural and okay, let me blow bubbles.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, like gun bubbles.
Oh, I thought I was like, that is so interesting.
Yeah, that was very weird.
I was like, doesn't she need both hands though? I love it. Okay, and then you made your way over, or?
No, then I quit because they said I got too big.
Tall?
No, as in
weight-wise?
Weight-wise,
No.
and I was very, very skinny, 115, I think, pounds.
Yeah, so why would they say that?
Oh, because it's Europe.
Right.
The modeling industry is
So how?
When you start when you're 13, you don't really have shape.
Right, of course.
So,
you're just entering puberty, so it's your body's figuring it out,
Yeah, and then I started getting shapes,
curves,
and and that was
and they're
just.
oh, can we have you back?
Can we stop doing that?
They're sorry about what happened 2 years ago, but saw you on Instagram. I'm just kidding. They're okay, you're too big. Did that what happened? Did you feel okay, maybe this isn't for me, or did you not let it affect your confidence?
Oh no, I was just I'm in high school.
Yeah.
I just started high school in Denmark. We start drinking then, and I'm I'm not gonna give up beers and pizza.
I love it.
What life is this? No, thank you.
No, yeah, live your life to the fullest, and pizza and beer is definitely in that.
And then I was well, if I'm not gonna be in front of the camera,
I'll be behind.
I'm gonna be behind it. And then I started working on commercials behind the camera.
Oh, okay.
Almost helping in that way.
How did that happen, and what role did you want to take on when you were behind the camera?
Well, I then started I started knowing people in the industry because I'd been in front of the camera.
Right,
and then
right.
I asked some people hey, do you need help? I'm right here. So I've been a PA, I've been a runner.
Oh, okay.
I've been project coordinator, production coordinator.
And this is still in Denmark?
Still in Denmark.
Wow.
I did all of those things.
Wow. Till what age? So you started at 13 and it went till
19, I think, because 19 was the first time I went over here.
What, by yourself? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, because when you live in California, it's still a move when you go from city to city. Let's just say I'll use myself as an example, San Francisco to LA. But when you move from across the world by yourself, I always wondered okay, what sparked the initial okay, I'm gonna do it, or did you know someone that lived here and gave you the opportunity, or did you have family out here, or what gave you that confidence to just be I'm gonna fly out there by myself? Because I feel that's such a big step to do.
I think it's because in Denmark it's very normal to have this gap year.
Okay.
So after high school, pretty much everyone either goes interrailing, which is with a train through Europe.
Sounds fun. Love it.
Go to
I love that.
Asia, to, those full moon parties.
What's a full moon party? I don't know.
No, it's whenever there's a full moon, you basically go on a rave, put on UV makeup and go crazy.
Okay.
Partying.
Outside?
On the beach.
Oh,
just chill.
oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. We might have to. I mean, I'm down to try it.
I love Asia, so I'm down to go again.
Okay. Oh, so you've already been? I love it. I love it.
Or else like Australia, and I was just like, I'm gonna continue studying, but in Los Angeles.
Were your friends like, why?
Kinda. They were all like, you can go anywhere.
Like, you can go to Australia and you're gonna go study.
Yeah, and you're gonna continue study in Redondo Beach. Exactly.
Or traveling through Europe in a train. Okay, so you're like, I'm gonna go. You're 19.
Yeah.
And what are your parents saying to you? They're like, yeah, go ahead, go. Or they're like, no, it's a little far.
They were just like,
okay,
well,
bye.
See ya, I guess, in a year.
Need a ride to the airport.
Obviously, as the true Leo I am, I hung pictures of myself everywhere and made like an altar. Yeah. And luckily the pictures were still there when I came home, so they didn't forget me.
So you waited a whole year to go back to see them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just
whoa. Did you ever feel like I'm alone, I feel lonely, or were you lucky to like meet a lot of people and go out, or like classmates, or?
Well, I lived with 3 other girls.
Oh, okay. And how did
10 out of 10 would not recommend.
Yeah, that's called a sorority.
You would not.
I think it's cool, the concept behind it, and like the people who do it, I'm like, that's really cute. But I personally like couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Me neither. I did it it wasn't a sorority, but it was still like sharing a smaller apartment with 3 other girls, and
did you have your own room?
No.
Okay.
It was like student housing, so we were 4 girls sharing one room.
No, I thought it was at like a 2 and 2.
No.
Oh my god! And did you get along with them, or was it like?
Almost all of them. But we were all international, so it was just a lot of cultures mixed together, and so some of them didn't fully speak English, so it was
so there was like a language barrier and stuff. And what school did you go to?
National University of Torrance.
Oh.
One that no one has ever heard of. So I was in very weird. My studies were basically on LA. So it was like yeah, so half of it was about Hollywood and about like how to make films, make movies, all of that. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. So it was more like a lecture class-ish.
Yeah.
Like not as hands-on, maybe.
Yeah, we had to film as well, but like it wasn't like they were giving us equipment or stuff like that.
They didn't? So they expected you to just like figure it out.
Film with your phone, I don't know.
Like Tangerine style.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe you can make it work, but I feel like it's nice to get a film package. But I mean, we had to pay for it. It wasn't like it was given to us for free, like LA Film School. I found out that LA Film School gets like a camera from the school that they can use to shoot, and like they also get money towards their thesis. And like I'm like, you know what we got? Nothing. It's a year program, so now you're 20.
Yeah.
And you're done with
that. I went back to Denmark, started getting my bachelor.
Oh, you went back?
Yeah,
okay.
So I got my bachelor in market and management anthropology.
So what were you not like, I don't want to, like what was...
Well, it's very difficult getting a visa.
Right.
But then after my bachelor, I figured, okay, because I went to UCLA during my bachelor as well, and I was just like, I know where I want to be, apparently.
Yeah, like I keep coming back to LA, so something.
And every time I'm here, I keep doing something within the movie industry.
Right.
So I was just like, I guess that's what's pulling me. Yeah. I guess that's what I should be in. That's what I should do.
Yeah.
And then when I had my chance during my master's to come back here, I took it. I was just like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And then I got my visa.
And you came alone again, right? Like no family, no friends?
Every time.
Okay.
Alone every time.
And what area, were you staying at? Like, where?
Well, UCLA, it was in Century City. Right. And then doing my master degree, I lived on Hollywood Boulevard.
What were like the first like few gigs that you started doing out here?
Well, funnily enough, I met someone from your school.
Oh my god, New York Film Academy? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Katrine.
No,
Danish girl.
Okay,
well.
How did you guys meet?
Well, I was just like, how do you get friends in this city?
Full moon rave. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I was just, how do you make friends? Acting.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, that's the easiest way to make friends.
I would have not come up with that.
And
if I would have been like, go to a bar, like.
And it's I used to act when I was younger, so I was just
so
like,
you're familiar with it. It's not because I was like, that's really brave too, like just to you'd be like, I'm gonna go act.
Well, then I figured like I just went on like some website and was like, okay, I'm just gonna apply, and
so
then
it was just some random acting class you found online.
No, not even. I just got auditions.
Oh, okay.
Just went to audition.
Oh, you went to audition.
Then the first one I went to, it was Katrine's thesis. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was her thesis or something, yearly something.
Right.
And I was just like, you're Danish. Oh my God, we should be friends.
I love it. And she was was she
director? And then we became friends. And I was,
of course.
I didn't get the job because I have an accent, and it was supposed to be like a 16-year-old American girl.
She calls you. She's like, you didn't get the job, but I'll be a friend.
Yeah, I'll be a friend. And I'm like, cool. I'll work on it.
Yeah.
And then I became her PA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I did a bunch of PA stuff for her.
How did you feel about PAing? Because it's like a lot different from like modeling and doing commercial work, right?
A lot different. I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I like being on set.
Yeah.
But I also like...
And you meet so many people also.
Yeah.
PAing. Like, you really do. I've met so many awesome people.
It's also freer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. You're everywhere.
You are everywhere. Because when you're like for example, directing, you're like, you have to stay with the actor, working close with the DP and all that. Like, you can't be like roaming around on set, like taking a stroll and be like, hey, what's up? What's the PA doing over here? So,
yeah, it's just fun. You get to see all of the different like parts of a movie. You can like see, okay, this is what the director is doing. This is what Scripty is doing. This is. Yeah. And that was what she ended up bringing me in as. Then I became a Scripty.
Oh, so you got bumped up.
Yeah, I got bumped up! Promoted! So I started being a Scripty for her.
Okay.
Which was a lot of fun.
And did you had any experience? Did you just like taught yourself, learned it as you would go? Or?
To me, it's simple. But it's because it's about being organized.
It's about being organized and just paying attention to detail, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm a Dane. We love being organized.
Really?
It's like our thing.
Is it? I love it.
We're so organized.
Yeah, tell me some facts about Danish. I honestly don't even, I've never been to Denmark, so I'm like, tell me. It's just
random facts. Well, we have a lot of bikes. We all bike a lot. I think we have like 1.5 bike per person, something like that. We have 4 pigs per person.
Really? Why?
Because we have like we have giant pork industry.
Pork industry. The bacon must be fire over there.
It's the best.
I love it.
So much better than here.
Facts. I'm like, okay, those are 2 facts I definitely wouldn't have known.
Yeah, no,
What's
it's
your
very
like
random
main
facts.
dish? Because I just love food.
Pork. I think we call it fried pork with potatoes. It's amazing. It's really, really good, but like it's not normal to eat. It's like
you're like, my stomach feels a little funny.
It's like but really good. Love it. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, bringing you off topic. Talk about meat, pork. Okay, so Scripty. You're script supervising. Was there any like time where you're like maybe nervous taking on a new job because like you're trying to do so many new positions, or you're always just like ready to learn, which is good. It's a great trait to have.
I think I'm always a little nervous.
Yeah.
Which I think is healthy, but I always come on set with that kind of I can do everything kind of feeling.
That's good. No, because that will carry, like, that gives the team confidence. And, like, okay, we're in good hands. She knows what she's doing. They know what they're doing. Because I feel like just quiet, like, looking around, like, what do I do? Or, like, scared to ask what to do.
Yeah, then you're not going to be brought on again.
You basically can't act intimidated or be intimidated, even if it is intimidating. If you're working on a big set. When did it, like... So when did you experience working on like a big like studio set versus independent? Because you were working on independent stuff in the beginning, right? Yeah,
and then I became the personal assistant of an executive producer.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know where I've been everywhere.
I'm like,
go there.
No, I mean that's good because now like I feel like since you've tried all the different positions, you can really pick like what do I gravitate towards. What am I, like, good at? What is going to make me happy doing in the film industry? You know what I mean? Because, like, I feel like a lot of people change their minds on, like, what they initially wanted to do in the industry. Like, I always thought, like, I wanted to be an actress, but then I actually tried acting, and I saw myself on screen, and I was like, no. I was like, this is not for me. But I was like, I love coming up with a story. I love, like, just trolling everything.
Me too.
So I was like, what role is that? It was like directing. So that's kind of how it started for me, you know. So it's just funny, like everyone kind of, you know, it switches and changes, or you just see what you're better at or good at.
I loved being a personal assistant.
Yeah.
But never again for an executive producer.
Was it hectic?
No, the thing is, so some executive producers,
yeah,
they like earn their title.
Okay.
Some executive producers do shit.
Really? How do you think they just had like
they
were
literally
born into it because of family?
No,
or
it's
money?
more like someone calls them and says, "Hey, I want to either be in a movie or I want to, you know, invest in a movie," and then they sit and say, "Okay, cool, I have these movies."
Oh, okay.
So they're basically just selling the movies.
The movies that they have in like their office, like
and then since they do that, it's kind of weird. Then they get a title and a fee for it.
Oh,
so that's why I'm like, some executive producers they haven't really earned that credit.
Yeah.
And depending on how much money these executive producers get, they can actually end up getting the title producer without having produced anything.
Any film at all, like even. Oh,
they don't even have to be on set.
Oh my god! Really?
I'm not talking like small movies. This guy did movies with Stallone. He did with Schwarzenegger. He did with so many like big stars, and he still
has never produced them.
He did nothing. He literally.
It's crazy. I feel like it's like just like sometimes with the film industry, it's the networking and the connections and the people you know. Like it's not necessarily always on talent or like what you really have, the hardworking part, or the like what you have to offer. Because I feel like there's so many good people out there that haven't gotten like their big break. Because like it's crazy. So what major differences like have you noticed like on big studio sets versus like independent sets? Since you've worked all the different roles, like literally you've worked all the positions.
I'd say like, so the independent movies I've been on, they mostly have a smaller crew,
right?
And they're not as professional.
Right.
It might sound like weird, but it's like when you go on a big set.
Yeah.
You stay in your lane.
Yeah.
It's like even if this person over here needs help, you don't go help them.
Yeah.
Because it's not your job.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about that theoretically. Yeah. Like even if you used to be a grip, don't go help the grips.
Yeah. It's not like you need to stay in your department.
Then you're a liability.
Wow.
So you just like you stay in your lane, stick to what you were told to do.
Yeah. Like you're here to if you're here to PA.
And it's also because
grip.
the industry is so
cutthroat.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like if you go and you try to pretend to be a grip, but you're actually a PA, then it's like, oh, are you trying to take my job? Are you trying to, you know, stay in your lane? But be nice to the people, and then you can always, if you make friends and they're like, hey, can you help me with this? Go help them. Yeah. And that's when you're like, that was my shot. That was when I like.
Not like just being like, oh, like I can do this and that.
Yeah.
I was working on a commercial and it felt very hostile, honestly. Like it felt very like, okay, we're here to do a job. You know, big money's involved. We have a big client. Like, you know, do this, do that. We have to be in the time frame. And I was like, okay. Like, it was cool to see like what a big budget set can bring. Because I was like, I've never been on a like production that was this big of a budget. Because you know, I've been working on a lot of independent stuff, so like the budget's not like in the millions. Yeah. So when you're working on something that's like in the millions, it's like you're working, you know, your people's monies are involved. So when people's monies are involved, everyone's all like hostile and like, you know, stressed and anxious and like getting yelled at and stuff. And I just like I could feel it. Like I walked on set as a PA and I just could feel like the energy of like the big departments. Like the AD was like, oh, can you move this? And then like I think he had already asked that specific department to move it like twice. So they were like rolling their eyes, like all pissed, like, oh, like, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like you just hear it under their breath, like talking shit. It was like, oh god. And like I don't know, when I'm like working on independent sets, I always feel like everyone's really in it and into the story. And is not just like doing it for a paycheck. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's one of the major differences that I've noticed on the sets. Like
that's also the major difference. If you work on a big set, you get a nice paycheck if you work on an independent movie.
Yeah, you know. I know, it's like...
But the energy is way better.
The energy's better. Everybody was just so involved and excited and like, yes, we're working on this project. Like,
people are like, I read this story.
I
believe in this story.
Like,
this
on
is
the big sets, they're like, what are we working on today? And then they're like, oh, we're working on this scene. Yeah, just do this. Yeah, we're not on time. Hurry. Like,
yeah.
Like, and it's crazy how easy they spend money. Like, they were really acting like there's no budget on this set. I was just like shocked. I was like, okay, like I get you have like $1 million budget, but like I feel like they spend the money a little unnecessary. Like it just was going in places where I'm like, it didn't have to really go there. Like for example, they wanted to like make the garden look prettier, so they bought like they probably needed 20 like plants like or flowers to like set up. They bought like 5,000, no joke, because the whole front yard. It looked like we were like at Home Depot. Like it was just a freaking patch of flowers. I was like, what scene is this? And like, oh, that's all the leftover flowers. And like, I was a PA and I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm gonna have to deal with this. I was like, I'm gonna have to like dispose of flowers. And you can't return flowers. Because and also when it's 96 degrees outside in the middle of summer, flowers die. Like if no one's watering them, they're just sitting there in the heat, just getting killed.
If it's a good set, they let people take them home.
Yes, that did happen. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna have to like get rid of them. And then they were like, okay, we can't leave like 5,000 flowers for the homeowner, so can you like take 2,000 of them? So everyone's just like taking flowers and
just
like
grabbing them.
Yeah, literally like leaving sandwiches like pots. It looked ridiculous.
Can I have the purple?
Yeah, no, I was like, I'm gonna make my whole garden, but I didn't have enough arms to carry because they're heavy. It wasn't like this like easy thing to carry. So I was like, damn it, I need a truck. Yeah. But they were shuttling us out there, so I didn't even have my car. So see, that was another like studio experience.
Yeah.
They're like, park your car like here in the parking lot. You're gonna get shuttled out. Oh, but before you get shuttled out, make sure you stop at the food truck to get breakfast. I was like, there's a food truck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm so used to just,
oh,
there's like, oh, the crafty table is being set up right now. You're gonna have to wait 10 minutes.
When I worked on Rebel, it was amazing because it's like you do meet at like 6:30.
Oh, is that standard call
in
time?
the morning?
Because
I was health and safety, so I had to be there before everyone else, or I had to be there when people were there.
Right.
So, but you meet. There's already a breakfast truck set up.
No way.
So you just
already
go
at 6:30.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you just go and you're like, I want this and this and this.
And what's the breakfast like?
Oh my god.
I'm like, that's the way to my heart, honestly. Like, I'm like, I'll put in the hours for good
options.
Food. Oh, see, that's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you, Disney.
No, I know. When the food truck offers a prime rib and like short rib, it's like, okay.
Oh.
Where are we?
But that was the thing. So you had a 30 minutes paid breakfast. Where you could be like, I want pancakes, I want bacon, I want eggs, I want this, I want that, I want
chilaquiles. Like
go up as many times as you want. You could even put it in a box and bring it to go. You could do whatever you wanted with it.
Okay.
It was glorious.
So far the day starting off good.
Exactly. And then you're working and health and safety is just like keep your shield down, put your mask on. Yes. I'm gonna wipe all of this clean. I'm gonna make sure everyone's safe.
Sanitized and
everything. Yeah.
Okay, question, because I'm curious. What will happen to that specific job title, health and safety, when COVID hopefully goes away? That's what we all want, right?
Well, that will probably either be cut or it will end up being like, let's still keep safe.
Yeah.
So let's have someone who's still sanitizing, still making sure that everyone is healthy, making sure
it probably won't get cut now, honestly, like just because
not yet.
Yeah, and I feel like for at least like maybe a year or two after, even just to like keep it going,
like face shields will probably go.
Yeah, how is that? I was gonna ask that. Oh. Well, I mean, we're kind of taking a step back now that we have to wear masks again indoors, so that probably answers my question already. But you still have to wear masks, I'm assuming.
Mask and face shield. But it's because it can spread so easily, so you need those face shields on, and you need to take those precautions, like 6 feet away, socially distant. Mm-hmm. You need someone. You also on set need to have someone tell people because
people forget. Or
no, they do not.
No,
they just do not care.
I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
They're like, I have to do this job, and I really have to do it, and it's difficult with this on because the glare, and it's like...
Because the glare...
I'm like,
I don't
I
care
understand.
if you can't see the ISO of the camera. No, but I do, okay, I get both sides, because I'm like, you know, it's dangerous, you want to be working on set, but you have to be cautious, and you can't be selfish, like, you have, even if you're vaccinated.
I had a full day where I had to walk up to Andy Garcia and be like, please put on your face mask. Please put on your face shield.
As long as you say please, I'd be like, okay, yeah.
Oh, he was so nice about it. Right. He was so nice. He was just like, okay, I'll put it on. But you just know when you're out of sight.
He's like,
he's probably like, taking it off.
She thought wrong. She thought.
Yeah, she tried.
Yeah. No, I feel like
he was actually one of the really nice ones.
Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, the people on that set, like, they were not wearing their masks all the time. Like, the director, like, never wore his mask. The AD, he did, but it was, like, nose was out.
Yeah.
And then the grips, they always wore their mask. Honestly, bless their heart, they were wearing their mask, carrying these ginormous lights, like, the biggest lights I've ever seen. And then they also were recreating a moon. So, like, imagine how big that, like... light is.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a globe. It literally looked like a mini Earth. I didn't know what it was. I was like, why do we have... At first, it was so funny. I swear, I had asked Jose, I was like, is that like a hot air balloon? Like, what? I'm like, what does this have to do with the scene? And they're like, oh no, that's a moon. Like, they're going to fake a moon. And I was like...
Damn.
It looked like a hot air balloon. It had like that whole big ass like globe thing, and then it had strings attached, which were to hang it from the roof of the house, not to go light it up. But, you know, you live and you learn, you experience.
Exactly, you just experience all of these things.
Have you had any bad set experiences? Or because they seem like they've been pretty good.
Well, I think it all depends on how you act towards people,
right.
Because most of the people on set right now are vaccinated.
Yeah. Right. Oh, do you get a lot? Well, I'm vaccinated. This is stupid.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, I'm vaccinated. And I'm like, you can still spread it.
Yeah. You can still get COVID too if you're vaccinated. So
yeah.
It just lowers your chances of probably dying or being really, really sick. But
exactly.
You can still get COVID.
And that's where it's... So, you know, you're kind of like, yeah, I understand and all of that. So I realized...
It's like, do you understand?
They do not.
They're like, I understand. And you're just like, but then why did I see you not wearing a mask earlier?
So that's why I was mostly just like, I would walk up to them and be like, I know, sorry. Like, but...
Yeah.
And the more I seemed like, ugh, I know my job fucking sucks, kind of, the more they listened to me. And the more they were like, yeah, because it's you, I'm going to put it on, where I'm just like...
Yeah, just be cool about it.
I shouldn't have to degrade my job in order for you to do what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like, if you acknowledge that your job is annoying, you're going to do it.
Exactly. And I'm just like, I could literally shut down this production if I wanted to.
I can shut everyone's job down.
I can shut you down, and you don't really get that, do you?
If somebody was really, like, giving me a hard time, I'd be like, I don't think you understand what I can do.
Oh, but that's the thing. If, like, depending on who you say that to.
Oh, they'd be like, you don't know what I can do.
One of the managers told one of the, like, bigger actors that and was like, hey, like, if you don't listen to me, it's gonna be cut. Whew.
Were they mad?
Full blowout. Like,
Tom Cruise moment.
Full Tom Cruise, but the other way around, I think.
Yeah.
He was for masks and shields, I think.
Right, yeah, Tom was, right?
Yeah. This was the other way around.
Yeah. I feel like it would get so awkward on set, like, even if you're like, yeah, it's hot, like, no one wants to be wearing it, but it's like you're all doing it for, good cause. Like, you don't want to spread it. You don't want to get more people sick. You want this shit to end. So it's like, we're all there, like, we understand why we're there. And it's like, I feel like making a huge deal about it, it'd be so awkward to be in the room. I'd be like, I'm not here. Where's my invisible cloak? Like,
but it's also, I'm not mentioning any of the bad actors. Andy Garcia, you were good. Yeah. I'm just letting you know.
You were amazing.
You were great.
If you're watching,
loved it.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe right there. Please.
Please. See, I feel like if you throw in the please, it's like, it's hard to be mad at that. Like, if someone was like, please wear your mask, I'd be like, oh shit, yeah, so sorry. Like, versus like, wear your mask, put your mask on. You're like,
that was the thing. No, all the health and safety like, not managers, all just like,
yeah,
they were all very, very polite, but it's just, I feel like some of them said it more as a, wear it, you know?
Yeah.
Even if they said please, but, you know, more like,
wear it.
Come on, man.
Come on.
How many times have I told you?
Which I get to. It's like, come on, it's like, how many times do we need to say it? We've been on sets. I'm sure it's not their first time on set. They've been doing this for years, and like, I'm sure they do multiple projects a year, so, you know.
Yeah,
like,
and like, when I started, they'd already been on for like 2 or 3 months. So it's like, they know.
Yeah.
They should be better.
Okay. So there's been blowouts because of the mask incident, but
yeah,
other positions besides health and safety, it's been pretty smooth. Or have you had any? Okay.
So there's like a huge difference between an independent movie PA and like a studio PA.
Oh, really?
Because studio PA, like, you have several PAs.
Right.
And PA is not in charge of crafty.
That is a huge, that PSA. No, because honestly, I almost low-key thought they were because of independent films, also student films. But when I was working on the studio set too, it was crazy because they're like, I thought one of the guys was the PA, and I was like, oh wow, like, he's so good at, like, you know, doing crafty stuff. Like, he was making like little sandwiches. He was like pouring little shot glasses, but little like smoothies, like, to like boost your like.
Yeah.
It was just so cute. I was like, oh my god, he's so creative. I literally was like, wow, this PA is like amazing with crafties. And they're like, oh, he's the craftsman, or like the crafty guy.
Like, that's literally
and I was like,
his
wait,
job.
I was like, he literally has that title, and they're like, yeah, like, he's literally just in charge of like, like, prepping snacks and making the snack table look delicious, which he did. And I was like, I want that.
It's a skill. It all depends. It depends on what PA you are. So you can be kind of like more the director's PA, where you're in the director's village, and then anything they need,
like waters.
If they need it.
Yeah.
Not so much that. No? It's more like, oh, we need this to be moved. We need this to happen. We need, like, and sometimes I need a water, you know?
I need a water.
Yeah, I need a water.
Yeah.
And then you can have that type of PA. You can have a background PA, so they're in charge of the background, making sure, like, okay, this person has to stand over here. This person have to do this. We need this group of backgrounds in now. We need this group. Yeah. And then, like, you can have so many different PAs. Yeah. So it's like, independent PAs, they cover more ground. Yeah. But they're also not needed as much, if that makes sense.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Because the crew is smaller. The budget is smaller.
Yeah. They usually only have, like, 1 to 2 PAs on set on, like, a short film or independent.
And everyone who's working on an independent film is, like, they're on it. They're on there. Like, this is my job. I'm doing it. Yeah. People are like, okay, I'll help you do that. Right. And that's why they need so many other PAs on set, because there's not that I'm going to help you.
Right. It's like, figure it out.
Exactly, because it's like, this is your job. You are literally paid to do this. You have to do it.
Right. Versus an independent, it's like more like, oh, people you went to school with, like friends, or like new people you are working with. So it's like, oh.
Or someone where it's like, oh my god, this has been a passion project of mine.
I feel like
I read this book and
I think they all literally they're like, it's a passion project. I'm like, okay, so I'm not gonna be getting paid that much. But I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, hey, you got to start somewhere. Everyone
got to start somewhere,
right?
And
so it's like, whatever.
If you have enough credits within the, like, being independent, then it's easier to get a studio job. If that's even what someone, like, if that's even what you want. That's what
I was gonna ask you. Like, what tips would you give someone trying to, like, break into more studio stuff versus independent, or like?
It is very, like, a networking. Yeah. But it's also if you have a good enough resume. Okay. Like, it's literally just going. There's so many job sites. Yeah. That are searching for these type of people. Just go in. And every time you're on a set, make friends with someone. Right. Be blunt. Like, I've always, whenever there's something, I'm always just like, hey, I think you're super cool. I'd love to learn from you. if would you mind considering me for your next project?
Yeah.
Most of the time, they respect that so much that they actually...
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I've actually learned that too. Like, sometimes I feel, at first I was like, oh, I don't want to seem like clingy, or not clingy, or like asking like desperate, like, hey, can you, like, hey, do you need something? Or,
it
you know
feels
what I mean?
like it takes some of your pride as well, where you're
especially
like
as a
begging.
leader. Yeah, like, I'm like, hi, can you help me? But no, I feel like if you word it correctly and you show your confidence and you really bring, you know, start your stuff.
You show that you want this.
Exactly. You show your passion, you want it, then you were like, yeah, okay, like.
They want to give you a shot. They want to, like, I met a super awesome line producer, and I just, like, she's not line producing right now because of COVID, and I was just like, I would love for you to be my mentor. Like, I feel like you are so awesome.
Usually want to, like, is that like a...
They do want, yeah.
They do? Okay.
But that's also the thing in the movie industry. There's a lot of big egos as well. Like, honestly, she does not have a big ego. That's not what I'm saying.
Are the women very positive about, like,
I've only met nice
girls on set?
women, I think. Like, I met one who was a scriptie that felt like she was above everyone else. Luckily, that was just, she was on, like, the second crew, and it was just, like, one night because we were doing a night shoot that she was there.
Okay.
But else, I feel like all the women are very supportive of other women being on set.
On set, yeah.
I was very afraid of that as well, that it was going to be like, hi, everyone, here I am. And then they're like, we've worked so hard to get here.
School,
like, get in the back. Directors,
it should be very welcoming and, like, encouraging. It's like, why compete? You know what I mean?
But that's also, I always try whenever I am on set.
Yeah.
I understand that I shouldn't just walk up and talk to the director. Yeah. Like, why would I do that?
No.
Why? What? Yeah. I have no reason.
Or just, like, work hard so that way they remember you, and then they're like, oh, like, great work today. Hopefully see you on the next set.
Exactly. And that was
that's like what you want to hear. Versus
I was in the director's village at one point where I was like health and safety.
Yeah.
And I hear she's like talking about she's from Switzerland. And I was like, that's my in. So I was like, oh my God, I love Switzerland. And I don't even remember what she was saying, but it was just something. And I was like, oh yeah, because I'm Danish. And and then we connected. And it was like, whenever she saw me then, she would smile at me and be like, hi.
Yeah.
And then even though I was just a day player.
Right.
When every time I came back, she'd be like, oh, hi, good to see you.
And you're like, thanks. You
just
too.
Because I saw an in and was like,
and you took an opportunity.
I'm only going to say this one little thing. I'm just going to be like, oh, hey, both Europeans. So we have a connection, but I'm not going to be like,
hey, you're from Europe too.
Are you my new bestie?
Yeah, exactly. You have to play your cards right, for sure.
You still need to remember, you're still in the bottom here.
Yeah. Do you think everyone needs to start at the standard, like, oh, start PAing, and then like, or
I think that really depends.
Is that stereotypical, like, industry rumor?
Yes and no. I think it really depends, because if you're extremely talented and if you're really good at networking, you're obviously going to be able to get your own movies out. Yeah. And then you can start wherever you want. Right. Basically. Yeah. Or maybe, you start being a personal assistant for a director, and he or she might be like, oh, I know you're also interested in directing. Do you want to be my assistant director, Yeah.
So it could snowball into that.
Exactly. So it's all like, you don't have to be a PA to work your way up.
I feel like that's awesome to hear, because I feel like in film school, they kind of, like, make it seem like, okay, like, if you want to break into the studio world, you're going to have to start at the very bottom. And even, like, when I was applying, like, look, because my final goal is to be a director, right? So when I was looking at the directing gigs in the studios, they're like, oh, hiring. And I was, like, so excited. I was like, oh my God, they're hiring. Like, be me. And then I look under the requirements, and it's like 37 years of experience. And I'm like, yeah, I'm only 24.
And you're like, I'm like, more experience.
So my whole life plus more. So it was a little discouraging. So I was like, shit, am I really going to have to, like, work my way up this ladder and then be, like, 50 years old and become a director? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, no.
And that's the thing. It's like, there's so many ways to get in. I would say, I like, if I wanted to be a director, I would probably either go be a personal assistant, not a PA.
No.
Personal assistant, or try to get like assistant director title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because then you also have all these movies you can write. Oh, I assisted the director here,
Yes.
or I was the director's personal assistant, meaning I'm gonna be by his side all the time.
Yeah.
And then also write on the side, because if you're a PA for a studio, people don't realize you work 16 hours a day.
I know. They work you overtime.
Yeah.
Is that standard? Like, all the time?
It's like, normally they say, oh, you're hired for 8 hours, but expect 12.
Shut up. I was hired for like 12 hours, and luckily they didn't mention that like it could go overtime. So I like had it in my head, right? I was like, okay, there's a possible chance. I was there from like 10 to 2 in the morning.
Think about when you meet at 6, sometimes 5:30.
Yeah.
And you're just like, overtime?
Yeah.
So we're gonna work here till 8 or 9?
I know. I'm like...
But you're also promised. It's like, even if you don't work 12 hours, you're promised 12 hours.
I feel like a good production should do that. Because it's like... It's kind of fucked if you're not, like, at least getting paid for the 12 hours. You know what I mean?
Even if it's 11 hours, you get paid for the 12.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, if it's 11 hours, like, really... Even if it's 10, it's like...
And they also have those, like, nice
fucking hours
increments.
Yeah.
So it's like, after 8 hours, overtime. After 12 hours, more overtime.
Yeah, and they have to feed you, right?
Yeah, like, they still have those food trucks where they literally have a full menu. And
at like 2 in the morning, you're like, okay, so I'll take some short rib.
Two in the morning. It all depends on when they start and when they end. So like, they do have those like set times.
Yeah.
But if it runs like really late,
Yeah.
Crafty always has sandwiches.
Oh, okay. So, see, honestly, it would be interesting to compare, like, what rumors are real versus to independent versus studio. Like, because I feel like, honestly, when you said the PA one, I was like, yeah, that makes sense, because I just experienced that, too. I was like, okay, I've heard that once, and now I'm hearing it again, so, okay, that verifies it. That's... Crafty is its own thing.
Crafty
Anything else
is
I
its
didn't
own
know?
thing.
Like...
And that's the thing. But that's also, like, how are you gonna work your way up if you're a PA working
so
16 hours?
Yeah.
You really need to make good friends. But everyone's working, so it's like, you gotta make those friends and then expect you're not gonna move up on this project. You're probably not gonna move up on the next one. You might move up on the third one if you're keeping your friendships.
So it's almost like it's not like worth paying a bunch of like different sets, because you're most likely always going to be hired as a PA, right? Like you can't
especially if you're a really good PA.
Right, if you get too good as... So it's like, maybe it's better to just try to enter in a totally different position, not as a PA.
It's like, you can literally make PAing a career.
You know, they get paid well, they're good at it, and then it just pays the bills, and like, they're like, you know, why not? And then...
Don't think people stay in the PAing.
Okay.
I feel like that is where they start until they realize where they want to go.
Yeah.
And then they take it from there.
And some people don't know right away, too. So they're like, it takes them, you know, a couple of different positions to figure out, like, okay, this is what I want to do, this is not what I want to do. What do you want to do? What's your final, like... Because I'm like, okay, we've talked about all of the different, like, positions you've done, and I'm like, okay, so what is your end...
I still don't know.
Or do you still want to, like,
I'm still exploring. I'm like...
Do you think you'll ever go back to modeling and commercial?
Well, right now I'm a model and talent agent, so...
So you're like, I'll hire myself.
Honestly, I just had that conversation with my boss where I was like...
I'll just slip in my portfolio.
Should I just, like...
Do it. I mean, I feel like full circle, right?
Yeah, right?
It would.
But that's the thing, like... I enjoy being in front of the camera as well. And so I know I'm good at it.
So do you enjoy it more than being behind camera?
I don't know. That's kind of the thing. Like, I enjoy right now managing all the models, managing all the talent. Okay. It's fun. And then you also get to be on set. You also get to experience all of that. Right. And then also day playing for a studio. You're kind of like, you get the best of both worlds. Yeah. But I don't know where I want to end yet. Yeah. Like... Obviously, it would. I'm also the type.
Sky's the limit. You honestly don't really need to just pick one thing. Like,
I'm also not the type who's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be an actress now, and I'm gonna throw everything I have towards that. Like, anyone who does that, I'm like, wow. Yeah. Like, I applaud you, because I could not do that. Yeah. It's like... too unstable for me. It's
like that was a major thing why I couldn't do acting, because I was like, it's a lot. Like, it's like. You have to have a lot of confidence and not be afraid of like
rejection.
Exactly.
So
like,
much rejection.
I have confidence, but there's a whole nother level with it.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally walking into an audition room and, like, there's a line of people, and then it's like, don't forget your lines, make sure you hit all the marks, like, you know,
and remember,
show vulnerability, emotions.
Maybe someone looks the part more than you do.
I know, and then it's like, are they basing it off looks? You don't want to think that, but then you, like, question it, you know? See, I'm like, I could not be an actress. Like, I'd be like, oh my God.
And that's the thing. I'm like, if someone asked me, hey, want to star in this giant movie? Obviously, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, okay. See, when
It's
you put it that way, I'm like...
I would, like,
like,
but
me?
I feel like almost anyone would be like,
right,
who,
right.
me? Yes.
Right. I think so, too. When you put it that way, I'm like, yeah, I don't think anybody would really reject that,
Yeah,
right?
but it's not something I'm pursuing.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. I feel like you would be really good at, like, managing and, you know, managing models and having a whole, like, running a company like that.
Just having people under me. No, go there. You go there. Pose like this.
No, I mean, you have experience, and now I mean, it started, like, when you were 13, so obviously you have a passion for it.
But that's also,
I think it's coming full circle. Like,
in order to be good at jobs like that,
yeah.
you need to understand what it's like being in front of the camera.
True.
Because you can, that's the thing, like, and that's also with directors.
Yeah.
There's a reason why there's so many actors who are good directors. Yeah. It's because they know you go over there, you stand here. No, instead of being angry like this, be angry like that, you know?
Exactly. Because there's so many types of different angries. You can't be like, oh, just act angry. It's like, do I have a bad temper? Like, am I
blowing
out?
up?
Yeah. Like, what is happening? Like, am I freaking out? Like,
exactly.
Am I getting my revenge? Like, yeah, are you working on any personal projects? Or, like, is there anything, where do you see yourself?
Where do I see myself?
Yeah.
Well, I still have, like, I've been a production coordinator on a movie for now about 2 years. It was supposed to shoot, but then COVID happened, and then all that.
Pre-COVID, you got the job.
Yeah, like a big movie that just signed Ashley Greene.
Ooh, exciting. Okay.
And I think it used to be with some other very big actors,
It
but
used to be.
I think we changed them, so I think it might be now John Malkovich.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very, like...
How long is this production for something like that?
So this one, we're still in pre-production, and this one has obviously taken longer because it's also an independent movie.
Oh, okay.
But with a big budget.
Oh, wow.
But that's also, then you need to secure the budget, you need to make sure the investors are actually on.
How different is that from, like, a studio, like,
so
just independent
different.
with a big budget? Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you need to insure the money, then you need to make sure that the script fits the money. So you might have a giant script that needs 25 million, but you can't get 25 million, so you got to settle for 10. And then you got to be like, okay,
you got to settle for 10 million. I'm like, I'll settle for one.
Settle. I'll take a 1 million loan from my dad
to make your movie. I'm like, my short was like $10,000.
And but that's where, you know, maybe,
no, I know.
okay, he can't be shot, then we need a, like, it can be a knife. You know, it's like small things like that, but then you just, like, changes. You change the script to fit the money. Yes. Which sounds weird, because normally,
Usually you get the budget for the script. Yeah, and then here you're making the that is so crazy.
Yeah, and then you got to secure the actors as well. Like, that's a whole other deal. Do you think
most of the money goes towards the talent, or is it, like, on location, like, in big, like, studio sets? Like, where is the money going toward? Like,
it all depends on how much the actors, like, charge, but a lot of the money is going towards the actors.
Yeah. Damn, must be nice.
I
don't even know, like, how much a director makes, like, on big budgets. Like,
all depends.
Really, it varies. It's just
It all depends. It's like, you know, I think I read something about, like, Robert De Niro is worth 20 million per movie. Yeah, must be nice. And he would do, like, friend movies for 2 million.
Friend movies for you get the friends and family discount, 2 million.
Exactly. Like, chill. That's gonna be your discount.
That's amazing. Yeah, 2 million just to, friends and family discount.
Yeah, so
10 million usually. So.
It's all. I feel like the budget. It's half of it is above the line, the other half is below the line. I think.
Wow.
Like, feel like almost.
Didn't, like, Robbie Downey Jr. for, like, Avengers, he got paid like 20 million, like something ridiculous. Because he was gonna get like that was the last movie he's gonna be in. He's gonna get killed off, right? But I'm like,
it also depends on like how he did it, because he was a really smart actor. He took a lower paycheck for the first Iron Man.
He did.
Yeah, to get a bigger cut of like the points.
Percentage, or
so he got points, and he got a lot of points.
Yeah, so he racked the points up. Okay.
He was, I think, that year he was the best paid actor because of that. Because he was smart, and he said, okay, I will take a smaller check on this side, and then when everyone goes to watch this awesome movie,
I get a big check. Yeah.
I'm going to get all the money.
And he did for 3 in a row, and then a whole freaking Avengers, like, wow.
Exactly. So he was, in that way, he was smart, which is also, like, the whole lawsuit with Scarlett Johansson right now.
Yeah, because Disney didn't give her that big movie premiere, right?
It wasn't because she didn't get the premiere. It was because they wanted to stream it as well.
Oh.
So, and she said it was going to be, like, her contract said exclusive for theaters and then streaming. But they did it simultaneously.
Oh, both at the same time. Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay,
so
that makes sense.
she's kind of like, even though you do have to pay for it streaming, she sort of, like, cheated.
Yeah, because they could have streamed it like 2 weeks after the release date, and it still would have been
and
fine.
it's because she did like Robert Downey Jr. and she got a lower paycheck, and then she's gonna get some from the box office. So she's not gonna make
notes, okay.
And then she's not gonna make as much.
Yeah,
because it is more expensive going to movies. And
that's crazy. Imagine doing a big movie like that and then like having to sue the company after. I can't even imagine.
That's also I'll also say she's still getting a nice paycheck, and I'm not sure Disney is the people you want to sue. But
that's okay. I was thinking about that too. I was like, okay, like I get maybe it wasn't like a $5 million check, but I'm sure you still got like $1 million, which is a lot. I'm just naming random numbers, and then I'm like, you're going up against Disney. Like
it's like
that's like going against the queen of entertainment.
It's kind of like, do you want to lose all these future jobs?
That's a big like enemy to have, you know what I mean?
But right now it's also like, who's actually the biggest? Is it Hulu? Is it Netflix? Is it Disney?
What would you think? What do you think?
I have no clue.
I don't know who the biggest is, but I find myself honestly recently watching a lot of HBO Max. Like, not
and Peacock.
Yeah. Okay, but on HBO Max, they have the new Gossip Girl reboot. They released all the new movies. Like, they had when, like, Wonder Woman came out, or, like, Space Jams. I don't know, just naming random movies that came out. And then, for example, they have, like, the Friends, the reunion is on there. Sex and the City reboot is going to be on there. So, like, all the new, like, classic shows that we know, like, they're releasing on there. And I was, like, looking through Netflix. It's been, I mean, I give Netflix big props because it's been staying around and it kind of started the whole thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes it has, like, really dry months where I'm like, there's nothing to watch.
And
I like the competition shows, but that's, like, kind of where it's been slowing down. I'm like,
I also feel like Netflix is more of a...
It's like more kids and
rom-com, but bad ones.
And they bring a lot of old like old classics. Like I've just been like She's Out of Your League, like that kind of like in that era of movies. I'm like interesting, but not really.
Interesting, but not really.
Yeah,
but that's also so. I'm like, is it really that dangerous going up against Disney or? But then again, once you have a lawsuit on you, it's kind of like I
wonder if they get sued often or if they kind of just pay him off.
I know a lot of producers get sued.
Really?
Yeah, that's why you need to make bulletproof contracts.
Shit.
That's why entertainment lawyers they make so much. But normally it's not like the stars that sue you; it's the crew that sues you.
Oh, yeah. See, that makes more sense because I was like, is it more like they sue probably about like, I felt disrespected. Just kidding.
I didn't get my overtime. I didn't get this. I didn't get that. Like, I was promised this. I was promised this pay. I was promised all of these things. And
yeah, that makes sense.
Investors suing.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, but honestly, when you work with big budgets like that, a lot of people, like, big sets, like, there's gonna be issues.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you gonna solve them?
And I'm also just like, are you really an American if you didn't sue?
Yeah. But see, I also think Americans sue too easily about
Way too easily.
It's like, it's kind of like a lot. Like, it's just like, chill. Like, I'm sure we can solve it without doing the whole suing thing.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like the first thing they think of is like, let's sue. And it's like, just talk it out, you know. I mean, thank you so much for coming on. I feel like we talked about so many things, especially like it's just like really nice to like open the eyes of like all the different positions, because like I don't like, I've experienced working some of them, but it's been on like smaller sets and like not such big studio sets, so it's nice to like compare, because I feel like there's a lot of like myths of like, okay, this is like what it's like, and then it's like, but this is what it's really like. And I feel like you really do have to just experience stuff for yourself to know how it's gonna be. Like everyone has different experiences on set, on and off, so I'm sure like I feel like the tip of the day is probably just go experience it for yourself and
remember to be humble.
Be humble, yeah.
Be humble. You have a script. The person next to you have a script.
Right. Everyone on the set has a script. Everybody wants to make a movie.
Exactly. Everyone has their passion project, but on a big set, it's not about you.
And your time will come. Just wait your turn, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I think so. Just manifest.
Be creative. That's literally why people are in this business. It's because they're creative. Be creative. Don't just like... Yeah. Don't just expect.
I love that. That's good. That's good. No, because I feel like egos get... And especially in LA, living in LA, like, egos can get big, and then it's like maybe... in industries like this, like modeling, acting, like just comedy, all of that, it's like egos can get big sometimes, and it's like you kind of just expect things to come to you, but it's like, no, you still gotta work hard, you still gotta like, you know, keep those brain juices flowing.
Your worth.
Show your worth, show your work, show your worth, show respect, show all that.
Yes.
But yeah, give out your Instagram or any like social media platforms that you want people to follow you or see your work or whatever.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Emma Hoiries, Hoiris.
Is it with the O's with the dots?
No.
Okay. Because I was like, you have to
regular O's. Because America.
Oh, I love it. Okay, well, and anything else? Is any other?
That's all I do. Okay, only on Instagram, literally.
Love it. No, it's easy. Just keep it all on one platform. I know. It's like, do you have Twitch? Do you have Twitter? Do you have Snapchat? I'm like, no.
Like, I have it, but I don't really use
I'm like,
it.
I can't check all these platforms.
And then I'm like, always willing to help work. I'm always willing. If anyone like needs tips, needs advice, something, I'm always here.
Follow her, message her if you have tips. Maybe she can get you a gig if you're nice. Don't approach her too annoyingly. Don't be clingy.
Don't
slide in her DMs and be clingy. But all right, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next week.